Welcome to another episode of Viking Women's Basketball with Lynn Kennedy. The Vikings are home after a 4-game road trip in which they went 3-1. And Coach, we'll start right there. The 3-1 record on the road trip brings you guys to 7-3 on the road. If the season ended today, that would be a program record during the Big Sky era for win percentage on the road. Talk about how you managed that road trip and getting a good result out of it.
I think, we've been playing well on the road all year. Like you said, our record indicates that. The last 2 weeks, just being prepared for the road. I think, just trying to be healthy. I think every team is going through that. So that's the first issue, is just making sure that we're healthy. And we struggled a little bit last week with that. But we were able to fight through it, some ups and downs, anytime you're on the road. But we've had some good quarters that kind of extended leads. And then we've been able to fight back in games that we've been behind too as well. So it was nice to see that. And to have a 3-1 in the last 2 weeks says a lot about this team and what we can accomplish on the road, finishing up the season.
And you mentioned the ups and downs. That happened in just last weekend's unfortunate loss to Idaho State with a bad second half. But then you guys bounced back despite the biggest Thursday to Saturday road trip you guys deal with this season, going to Sacramento State. Down early against Sacramento State, but you guys come back behind a season-high 22 points for Ashley Bolston. Talk about that bounce-back win.
Yeah, I think, you look back at Idaho State, and it's, they get out to an early lead, and then we come back, and we should have had a lead going into halftime, and we let them, make that last-second shot. And then in the second half, the score is really not indicative of what it could have been, as far as how close it was. I think we were 2 or 3 possessions away in the third quarter from tying the game up and making it a game in the fourth quarter. So to let that one slip away, and then, we hit the road. We had a long day on Friday, but to be able to bounce back and play well in the second, third, and fourth quarters of that game against Sac State. A little bit of a slow start. In the first quarter, they were hitting shots, but we were able to bounce back and finish that game and to extend the lead there in the fourth quarter that, I think, again, shows what we can do on the road.
All right, well, we'll get right into this weekend. Thursday, you guys have Idaho. It's going to be a tough game. A win for you guys would give all the top 4 teams 4 losses, which would be interesting going into the last 3 games of the regular season. But it's going to be tough, as we said. Idaho beat you guys 80-78 on the road on 2 late free throws, and they have those good shooting guards in Ferenz and Pierce.
Yeah, I mean, they're a tough team, and they've been playing well on the road, like all the the top teams have been. But for us, we got to continue to get better. I think, looking towards these last 2 weeks, what are we going to do to get better and be prepared for the tournament? I think all the teams are focused on that, but we again have to get back to that. And yeah, it's a big game for anybody, looking at Thursday, and we've got to be ready for Idaho and the things that they do well. We've got to take those away and definitely protect the 3-point line and rebound the ball better. We didn't do a very good job the first game, and so just be more physical, rebound, and then that will get our fast break going and be in better flow, I think, offensively for us. And it's always a typical up and down game against Idaho, which is a fun game to watch for fans and for coaches and even the players to play in. So I think it's going to be a fun game, and I think it should be a game that will excite Big Sky fans and get them ready for the tournament.
All right, and then you guys host Eastern Washington on Saturday. You guys beat the Eagles on the road earlier this season, but they've been playing really, really well of late. Winners of 4 of their last 5, including a win over Northern Colorado. And that one loss could have easily been a win. They lost on a last-second 3-pointer to Idaho.
Yeah, I think Eastern's playing a lot better now than they were earlier in the season. I think that they've identified some role players that have stepped up now and give them really good production minutes. And, for them coming in, they're always a tough team to play against. They're real physical. They play tough defense. And then they've got some players stepping up offensively, too, so they're knocking down shots. So it's going to be a tough, and they, like you said, they probably should have beat Idaho, a week ago, and they're coming in with a lot of confidence, and they're still fighting for that bye round. So it's going to be a lot at stake, senior night. For us, and so it'll be a good game. It's always a good rival game with Eastern, and again, it's one of those games that gets you prepared for the tournament, and I think that's how we have to approach it.
All right, and it will be senior day on Saturday, so we'll talk about these seniors in our last video of the regular season, and we'll just go down the list. Start with Corey James. She hasn't been playing this year because of a medical retirement, but she's been a huge part of the program.
Yeah, Corey was one of the first players that we had here. When I first came to campus, she was signed by the former staff, and just, really a great person. And off the court, she's a great student. And for us coming in that first year, she just bought into the program and philosophy and who we were as a program and culture. And she was someone that we could build a program around. Even though we didn't recruit her, she really bought into what we were doing. And she gave everything she had, especially last year, playing through injury and battling through her back injury and being productive, one of our starters all year. And it was somebody we could rely on. She's one of those players. It's almost like having a coach on the court. She knew exactly what we were trying to accomplish at all times. And even though she was a little bit slower, as far as with her injuries, she was always able to get there and be there in the right spots at the right time. And for her to finish up this year has been great for us to have her be a part of the team, and just her insight off the court too, and being able to see things in practice. Some of the players may not see at that time. She's able to see that, and she's been really helpful in that way. Especially on the road during games, is to give feedback to players during the game. So we're going to miss her, but she's been a great addition and part of our team.
All right, our next senior is Pia Gerhar, a 4-year player for you. She just entered the top 10 all-time for career games played, so she's been a huge part too.
She has, and when I arrived on campus, we weren't very tall, and so I think that was one of the first areas we wanted to focus on recruiting, is getting some height, and Pia was that first player that I recruited. And she really has been probably our most consistent player. I think coming in, she was able to start right away, and she gave us a lot of great minutes and kind of helped us bridge that gap between the former teams and then our current team now. And she's been able to accept her role, and just shows what type of person she is and a player she is. She's able to fit that role and be a team player, and not many players can do that. And she's never complained about it. She's continued to work, and she's so productive in practice and gets us better every day. And I look back to that UC Davis game this year where Courtney was hurt and she came in, and I think she really won that game for us. She really was so good at everything that she did in that game, rebounding, defense, able to score down low. She was able to fill in for Courtney and give us that win. So I feel confident anytime, here in the last few weeks of our season, I can call on her at any time and she will give us, valuable minutes. But she's been that way all year. Smart, intelligent student. She's going to be so successful in whatever she chooses to do after school.
All right, and the next senior is Courtney West, queen of the block. She has double the number of career blocks than any other player in program history, and has the triple crown of records for blocks in a game, season, and career.
Yeah, Courtney and I go back, before Portland State, and she played for me 1 year at Southern Oregon, and to have her be able to come here and really elevate her game to where we saw where she could be at, when we first recruited her. She's taken it to the next level. She's going to be, a really good professional player too as well. I think that for her to come in, it gave us somebody we could say, hey, we've gone through this before. She knows how to get to this level. She knows our philosophy, our style. It was nice to have somebody like that we could rely on. She's grown in as a leader as well, the last couple of years. And so it's just been nice to see her game grow, and she's gotten so much better, and to have that desire to play that at the next level. I don't think she had that when she first came to Portland State to play, and she's really grown into that, and she's going to be a terrific pro player, and I think that her best basketball is yet to come. Yeah.
And then we have the 2,000-point scorers, starting with Sydney Riley. Sydney is top 10 for career scoring average, field goal percentage, 3-point field goals made, and then 10, 20, and 30-point games at Portland State.
Yeah, you start reading all those records off, and you start reading someone that's leaving Portland State as one of the all-time greatest players here. And, when I saw Sydney in high school, she was always a great shooter, great scorer. But I think when she came here, I think she had a lot of goals, and I'm so glad that she's able to, reach those goals and to become a better player. And she's become really not just a shooter, not just a scorer, but an all-around player. Her defense has been, great this last year, and she's really developed into an all-around really good player for us, and hear all those records and what she's broken and what she means to our team. And again, she's grown into a leadership role with us, and for her to come in here and really take it to the next level, she's got an opportunity to play at the next level as well. And so I think that just seeing her grow as a player and a person has been tremendous for us in our program.
And our final senior is Ashley Bolston. Ashley's a 2-time All-Big Sky second-team selection, and herself is top 10 all-time for scoring average, free throw percentage, assists, steals, and 10 and 20-point games.
Yeah, Ashley was a real decorated player coming out of high school, and I think she was in the top 100, in the nation. And for us to be able to get a player like that to come in and redshirt that first year, and we knew the talent level that she had, but I didn't realize what type of leader she was going to be for us, and she's really stepped into that role. And I think the most proud of, with Ashley, I'm her academic side. She's really excelled in the classroom, and she's really taken that to the next level. And for her on the basketball side, she's always had the talent, but she's been such a great leader for us and been able to lead on the court. And her and Sydney and Courtney being captains these last 3 years has been exciting to watch them grow together and as a team, and to get to where we are now as a team has been exciting. And Ashley's been right there leading the way for us in all of that. So she's a great talent. Not sure what she's going to do after college, but she's got a lot of opportunities for her, and it's exciting. It'll be exciting to watch her and see what she does after school.
All right, there it is. Once again, it's Thursday, 7 p.m. Idaho, Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Washington, Senior Day. For all your information, go to govikes.com.